What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You guys have been waiting for part 3, so here it is. Before we get into the video,
please smash that subscribe button because we are doing episodes of this.
Yeah, and we are gonna do as much as we can before we gotta pause it. All right, guys, let's do it.
Because there's a lot of great white players around, and I just hope that I can just fit in as well as some of them that has fit in.
He ran away from that designation. He made it very clear, almost from day one, that he was not the Great White Hawk.
You know, the great players are the black players, and they're the best.
Such deference meant little to black Celtics like Curtis Rowe, Sidney Wicks, and Cedric Maxwell, who looked at Bird and saw not the Great White Hope, but another case of Great White hype.
He didn't impress me no more than any white guy I've ever seen play before. I think that you would say that most black players at the time were racist, in the sense that we did not think that you could find a white guy who could play better than any black guy.
When I walk in the first day of camp, them guys were on the floor stretching, and here comes the white savior, here comes this, here comes that. I sort of enjoyed it, because I knew.
That's a lot of pressure, man, and that's like, you know what, it seemed like he was quite low on his confidence. Like, he didn't even believe he's the savior, even though, you know, they put this title on him with the hope that he will be. But hey, look at how it turned out in the end.
I think he felt intimidated as well because, like I said, his character compared to Magic Johnson was very different.
Opposite.
Totally opposite. Magic Johnson, he's about the high life. He's always smiling, happy, outgoing.
He wants the cameras.
Yeah, whereas Larry Bird, he's just a guy that's from the locals, didn't have much of a social life, didn't socialize with anybody. You know, he's had family issues and everything. No confidence at all. So against all these other, you know, athletic players, he's kind of, whoa.
This is a lot.
Yeah, I think it overwhelmed him in this experience.
That's the word. It was probably overwhelming at first.
Yeah.
I knew I was going to battle them all day. But Curtis and Sidney didn't last long. They didn't even make it through the first practice. And they were cut.
Oh.
So then it was just Cedric.
I'm thinking, oh, he's slow, he can't get off a shot. He's not that strong. This is gonna be a layup. Bam, knocks down a jump shot. Okay, maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam, knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking like, okay, hey, you know what?
He's
I'm
got skill.
gonna get this guy up. I'm gonna show him what it's like. 20 feet away, bam. 25 feet away, bam. My mind just goes to, damn, this white guy can play.
It was a good thing, too. The storied Celtics might have been the winningest team in NBA history, but they were fresh off their worst season in 30 years.
Oh.
And in Bird, they had a player who was not only supremely talented, but tough enough to take on any challenge.
You know, I always played like everybody in the world was against me.
Why is he
Everybody was against me. Used to think up things to get me rattled before a game.
He knew how to fight. I know that from off the floor.
Damn.
One night, somebody was giving one of his buddies a hard time, and Larry went over and, you know, said, hey, you know, this is my friend. And this guy was a pretty good-sized guy. By golly, they go out back, and the guy turns and says something to Larry. And I mean, Larry hit this guy, and I caught him. Hit him so hard, I go, whoa. He was from the old school, and that's how he played.
Larry Bird plays it to the hilt, baby. Played the game hard. Played rough.
He had to, though.
There was no frills about him. He came in, he threw elbows. There was nothing smooth about Larry.
He committed to that,
like that. They're hardworking people. They like that that's how people view them, and that's what Larry was.
Larry Bird follows his own shot.
Nice.
They also like winners. And when Bird led the Celtics to the NBA championship in just his second season, he was finally one of those too. Boston loved Larry Bird. It just wasn't so clear at first how much Bird loved the city back.
There's only one place I'd rather be, French Lick. Thank you.
Man, Larry was almost agoraphobic in his treatment of anything outside his hometown.
He wanted to be the Wizard of Oz. He wanted to intimidate people and keep them at bay. The further we are away from each other, the more I like it.
I had a nice little house. I had my little yard. I want to go from there to practice back. If we had a game coming up, I want to go there to the game and back home. It was all basketball. My whole
Not like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
My guy goes, plays golf, has a cigar, some beer. Oh, 1 hour until I have to go to the court. Okay.
And then he batters everyone and just calls it a day.
Very different.
Very
Yes.
opposites.
life was basketball.
If he was just sitting there with just me, you were looking around mumbling, trying to find things that we had in common that we could talk about. Now, we started talking about basketball, started talking about players who was, you know, it was great. U.S. history? Nope.
You know, we forced passes, we made errors down the stretch.
Daily events? Nope.
I made the shot, and from then on we was
Just
up by
basketball.
2, and they had to get back in the game, which they did.
Politics? Nope.
Try to not do anything I can't do or do no more than what I can do. I just go out and try to do my basic game.
He proudly dubbed himself the Hick from French Lick, and he looked every bit the part.
Yeah, no.
But those who played him for simple did so at their own peril.
One of the great ways, I think, of winding up with no money in your pocket is to think Larry Bird is dumb. Syntax is not intelligence. Unlettered is not stupid.
He's got a great sense of humor. He just didn't show that to people. That didn't mean he didn't have it.
He did, however, allow the public one small indulgence.
You could come out on Saturday and watch him mow his lawn.
Huge crowd started to stop. Larry Bird's cutting grass in front of his house.
Oh, they watched him.
He's mowing his lawn.
That's hilarious.
In the springtime.
Why not?
Larry is about doing things himself. And I think it's one of the things that made him so beloved in Boston.
But as Bird navigated through his new world, he still had one eye fixed on a familiar foe in a faraway land.
Magic.
What tripped me out was I'm riding in the limo, and I'm seeing orange trees and lemon trees in people's front yards. I said, stop, I gotta go pick an orange. Are you crazy? I said, no,
I bet it was
gotta
Larry's
do
house.
this.
Imagine.
And so I ran
No way.
up like a scared little kid, grabbed the orange and ran back to the limo. I'd never seen an orange tree. I'd never seen a lemon tree. I was fascinated.
And it's fresh
When
as well.
20-year-old Irvin Johnson arrived in Los Angeles in the fall of 1979, he was a world away from Lansing, the only home he'd ever known. He was the #1 pick of the LA Lakers, a once dominant franchise stuck in mediocrity. In the stoic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Lakers had talent, was energy. Irvin Magic Johnson was only too happy to provide it.
Lit the place up. Changed the franchise, changed the temperament. I changed it from the very first game.
Good shot.
Here it was, the first game of a long season against the lowly Clippers. And Magic was embracing Kareem as if they'd just won their 10th straight championship. It was like, man, this is a different kind of dude.
From the day he arrived, he became the prince of the city. He reminded me of a guy who wakes up without an alarm clock. And that's what I used to always say. I want to be happy enough to wake up without an alarm clock because I want to go into my world.
You could tell Magic's energy rubbed off a lot of people positively. Like he's someone that will walk in a room and just light up the whole room. You could just tell.
Like, look at his smile in
Yeah.
his picture. He's just positive. He's like a real sunshine.
And it's
That's
all
what he
genuine.
is. Yeah.
Like, it's 100% genuine. Like,
Yeah, it's not fake. He's like, hey guys. And he's literally, that smile is not fake.
yeah.
It's, like you said, genuine.
Which was rare to see nowadays.
Yeah. It's such a happy
He loves
person.
life.
Yeah.
It, what it is. As far as I was concerned, the it was not his ability or his size. The it was his attitude, was his leadership, was his mind. I mean, I don't have to talk about Game 6 at Philadelphia.
Magic Johnson will shove.
In his rookie season, Magic had helped lead the Lakers to the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers. In Game 6, with an injured Abdul-Jabbar back home in LA, Magic played all 5 positions, scored 42 points, grabbed 15 rebounds, and dished out 7 assists, leading the Lakers to the championship.
All-rounder.
In just 4 years, he had won titles in high school, college, and the pros.
Magic, what do you have that makes you perform like this in these championship games?
Well, I don't know. Just I love to win.
Across the masthead of the Los Angeles Times the next day, it said, "It's Magic."
He was a
That's
star
dope,
when he first arrived here, coming off the NC2A game. And quickly, during that first season, he became one of the stars in town. But that game put him on another level. That made him the star in town.
You can hear it with the fangirls
It's funny
fanning.
how I wanted to meet the celebrities, but they wanted to meet me.
Muhammad
I
Ali.
was like shocked.
Wow.
Michael Jackson.
Like, wow, you know who I am?
He was young, famous, and after Lakers owner Jerry
tall,
Buss
my
signed him
God.
to a 25-year, $25 million contract,
Oof.
very rich. The kid from Lansing was ready to sample a different kind of fruit. His playboy boss knew all the ripest trees.
I said, oh, I'm hanging with him. When they were coming into the box and he had 10, 20 of them, and look, Irvin, which one you want? And I was like, oh, okay, it's like that. And then he said, I'm going to take you to the Playboy Mansion. What?
Oh, that was actually him.
No, you're kidding. He said, yep. So I went there, and my first time, I'm backing up like, I can't believe I'm in, but I'm backing up away. You know, it's like, I'm scared to death. Probably 10 guys to 100 women, you know. Everybody think it's sex-driven, but it's really not. You have dinner, then you watch the latest movie. And then, of course, I don't want to ever say that sex wasn't involved, because if you meet somebody, that's what, you know, you wanted to do, you did that. But
it's good that I cleared it up, because whenever, like, you know, growing up, you hear about the Playboy Mansion, you think it's just some sex house, basically. That's how they make it seem, but it seems like it's just a motive. And then obviously if you meet the right someone and you're interested, and it's vice versa, and obviously it happens. But it's not like you go just for that, like you're going for, like, it's a date, it's a experience, if anything. It's interesting.
Really a great experience to go up there.
Just as I said it.
So yeah, I had fun there.
He came to L.A. like the Pied Piper. You know, people were giving him this and giving him that. But, you know, he stayed pretty grounded to the game.
Everybody was getting high then, but you can't even smoke a joint around Magic.
Good.
He had real old school, down in the trenches work ethic. And that was honed in him by his dad, Irvin Johnson Sr.
That's why he's
Magic
number
was
one.
Always this guy. You know, he never did none of that, so I did everything for him.
This guy was just
Magic
living
Johnson was living on a natural high. He was starring in the role of a lifetime, point guard of a Hollywood team with an offense called Showtime. He even had the alter ego perfect for the production.
I mean, Magic was his stage name. Even he would laugh about it.
Magic.
Well, he
Magic
always says
trick.
there's two people. There's Irvin Johnson from East Lansing, and there's Magic Johnson from Hollywood.
Irvin Johnson is another guy. You know, here's Magic over here and here's Irvin over here.
Irvin is this fun-loving guy.
He's living.
Magic was so serious and dedicated to his game, and he was a crazy, crazy competitor and a crazy man.
Irvin, I think, is the smiling kid from Lansing. I think Irvin died about 25 minutes after the NCAA championship game.
Irvin doesn't have the ego that Magic has. Magic got a crazy ego, and winning is everything.
And Irvin wanted to, along with Magic, conquer LA.
After having led the Lakers to 2 NBA titles in their first 4 years in town,
Crazy.
Magic and Irvin were well on their way.
Guys, that will be it for now. We are going to be back with part 4. I know, guys, you guys want more parts and longer parts. It's because we're on schedule and we have to do it like this, but it's going to happen. Don't worry.
Listen, guys, good things in life take time, okay? Always remember that.
That's it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. For now, peace out.
Bye.